Guys, welcome to Clockwork Noodles for another breakdown of Spice and Wolf, the remake for 2024. I hope you guys are looking after yourselves and welcome back. I am surrounded by snacks. It's amazing. So I normally do get the Tokyo Treat box and we're not sponsored. Maybe one day we will be, but I actually pay for this one. I had the Tokyo Treat box. It arrived today. And I also ordered for a treat because I was feeling really bad last week. To cheer myself up, I ordered a box of American sweets. They came at the same time, so I am swamped. It's not just sweets. I have actually got things like Lay's smooth ranch dip floating around. I've also got myself some crisps and drinks and potatoes floating around. So I am kind of doing my inner Holo right now. I have got some different types of potato, which I think I add water to, and it's like instant mash. It looks amazing, so I wanted to try it. So I am completely surrounded. I am recording and I can't move. It's amazing. But we're going to break down episode 2. Thank you for tuning back in. There's a few awesome bits and pieces I want to go through on this one in particular. Mega kudos for them actually giving her fleas. That was a really nice touch. I just wasn't expecting them to go, oh yeah, we'll give the wolf fleas, because they probably do have fleas. And as somebody who works in the pet business, I can definitely probably, if she gives me her weight, give her some medication that would definitely treat those fleas. But I just thought it was a really nice touch to also go there and be like, oh, she's our main character. We're not just going to go into something like that. We're going to actually go the way, give her fleas. Now, I did initially like the mirrored conversation right at the start where he praises her tail. And later on, she actually flips the conversation back and replies by going, I like your beard. I think she's kind of mocking him because I think that's her kind of character as a whole. She says, oh, I just wish it was a bit more wider, on your face, because you clearly only got it on a little bit there. I think it's because as well, because she can tell that he's lying about things. Him saying you've got a really nice tail, I think she thought there was a lie there, so she actually threw it back at him. And it's a very nice conversation, which turns into a nice subtle joke if you kind of read between the lines, which I really like. Now, the medieval vibes really coming out this week with the tolls and the church and paying of the cash phrase your way, your safety between different towns. I love it. I really love it. I was only joking last week when I thought it was medieval, and it turns out I'm probably on the money on this one. I like the fact as well that you're seeing people stopping for the monasteries, stopping just to rest along the way, because this essentially was once upon a time what they were there for. People would stop there. Ill would go there and they get treated by the church, which I think is really nice. I absolutely love the atmosphere, and I love the fact that there's candlelight everywhere, because you also get this really nice soft lighting on the face, and her face looks really nice with the soft lighting. It's also very cozy. Even though it's foggy outside and the fog's rolling in on the countryside, it does feel really cozy. I would love to know where this is based, if it's based anywhere in Europe whatsoever, because it really does feel like it could be the UK and the fog is just rolling in. But obviously that could be anywhere. But it really has that nice effect where this is the countryside, this is really rural. And we're also seeing the birth of the church, that world building right in, and I'm really impressed with them doing it. Now, the cheese potatoes look amazing. Talking about potatoes, like I said, I am surrounded by potatoes right now in many different forms. I've also got these, what are these, like cheese curly things? I don't know what they are. It's just, I've got a selection of snacks that I keep hearing about from online YouTubers. They're here now, so I'm really looking forward to getting into both the Japanese snacks and the American snacks. But I love the attention to detail with having the actual cheese, the food there. I'm a big foodie, so if there's a food anime, generally I do watch it. So the fact that Spice and Wolf also has attention to detail when it comes to food. I love the effect on her tail when she ends up choking on the food. Just nice attention to details because she's a wolf. It's a nice little fun effect just to see that she's experienced some kind of displeasure whilst eating her food. And again, noting that she's got the fangs on the side, and just nice details. Now, I love the deep diving this week. There's a lot of deep diving. The first one we're going to talk about is lies, the idea of knowing if somebody's lying or not. And I love the fact that Lawrence actually asks the question, did you sense there was a lie there? Personally, I also picked up on him being sly. I can't tell you if it's the fact that he said I'm going to split it fairly, or the fact that his money is actually going to be around. I would guess more so that the money is being replaced by silver, because we do know the currency in even Europe went through many changes, and eventually it did turn to silver, then it turned to different metals. But I would expect the lie to be, I'm going to cut you in equally. I don't think he is going to do that. So I really hope that they're going to not fall into that trap, because it does seem like they're going to go and make a deal with them in the next town. It's a thought process when she says, what would you have done if you if I wasn't here. If I wasn't here, how would you approach the situation? He would obviously, he tells her what he would have done. And then she's like, well, now that you know that a part of what he said is a lie, now what are you going to do? The point is that just because he knows there's a lie somewhere, he's actually not acting any differently. You're still acting cautiously. And you see Lawrence standing more on the side of caution, just in case there is a fortune to be made. But at the same time, if there's going to be a plot and somebody's in it to make money, I'm going to make sure that I'm there to figure it out. So he's erring on the side of caution, which I think is the very clever moral of the story, that even if you knew somebody was lying, or you knew a part of the conversation was a lie, you wouldn't really act any differently. You'd act cautiously, just the same. So I thought it was quite a nice thought process. I did think it was interesting that Holo was the one actually going to church. She wanted to hear what they were rambling on about. When it comes to the church undertones, we're seeing the blooming of Christianity, because I think Holo is supposed to represent paganism. And as she says, like, well, I came from the north, the church wasn't big, they were tiny. And I love the fact as well that she says that what they're now teaching is comedies. To her, it's hilarious. How could somebody create nature? Christianity blooming here, what Holo represents. So I thought that was very, very clever. I do still think if there's going to be any tension in the show, it might come from the church, but we'll keep an eye on that. Paganism is Holo, and she's representing these older traditional beliefs. We do know that Christianity came in and eventually paganism was trampled out. It still exists in corners, but it isn't the main religion of any country. It's an old, I guess you'd call it a minority nowadays. It's a minority religion where certain people do hold on to pagan beliefs, but it's not the big one, because obviously Christianity came in afterwards. So I just want to see how the show plays out and actually plays with those ideas. Now the next bit is the idea of time as we are moving towards the next city. There were wolves roaming in the countrysides and people were terrified. Now this came from the conversation in the Vanitas videos. I can't remember what episode it was, but we were talking about, I think it was the wolf of Abaddon. It's not Abaddon or something, isn't it? It's there's a wolf episode, and I don't remember how to pronounce it, but in that episode they believed that a giant wolf was eating the kids, and it actually turned out that the wolf was kind of real. It was just a very big wolf, because wolves once upon a time were actually quite the big threat. So this is the first time we actually get to see Lawrence get quite serious. It's because he's seen people close to him die, and he doesn't see the joke in it. He doesn't see the hilariousness that, oh, this person wanted to eat your brain kind of thing. He doesn't like that, which you get behind because his friends have probably passed away. It ends up circling back to her saying wolves were hunted. They're not like dogs where they're kept alongside. They're actually kept in a forest. They're kept at bay. They're hunted for pelts and things. So you do see how the circle goes around. Like, it's a bit of a cycle, a painful cycle, where Holo also seems to suggest that she's also been through pain. I don't think we'll get any more of that on that just yet, because I think it's going to take her a bit of a while to open up and give us that information. But it certainly seems like both Lawrence and Holo are sharing at least some ideas of loss, grief, the idea of trauma as well. Something that I think the show will hopefully dive into a bit later on. Overall, a very good episode. I love the attention to details. I love the idea of some of these talking points, especially when it comes to the idea about lying, the idea of time, what you're going to do, the idea of watching the church building up to being bigger and more important. Also, these slow builds for the guy who's perhaps scheming is probably going to come back in the next episode. There's a lot of nice little things being subtly built, and I love the fact that the pace isn't fast. I adore the fact that we have clips of fog rolling in through the monastery. It is my chill episode. Very excited to do this one. I also think the other one I'm breaking down, which is Bartender, is also chill. So I've got 2 chill episodes and Kaiju number 8, which I think is airing this week. I think for the first time we're actually going to have Kaiju number 8 on the channel. That one I don't think is going to be chill. I think 2 chill remakes, and then I've got Kaiju number 8. So very excited to break that one down on the channel too. But I'm so glad that we have a nice chill one to talk about potatoes and wolves, and I really enjoy it. So thank you guys so much. I really hope you're looking after yourselves. I'm going to somehow dig my way out of the snacks and eventually start moving. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys again soon. Bye bye.